When I was a young kid, I fortunate to grow up in an age we didn't have the computers, the TVs, and the phones as much to be inside. So I was, only child. Mom and Dad, we were outside playing and doing things, staying active. And at the age of 6, started at North Park, a place that just kind of opened up and got going, and just loved sports. Mom and Dad introduced it to me, watched it when you could see it on TV. And just stayed active outside playing in the yard with cousins and friends. And I had great parents, one. They gave me a chance each day and supported me in all that I did. My mom and dad both were at every athletic event I ever had, whether it was youth ball, high school, into college. They were always in attendance. Being in a community like Denham Springs, to this day, Friday nights was always important. And one of the stories when I'm coming up, back in the 1985 season, Denham Springs played Ruston, and we were in Dallas, Texas for the Dallas Cowboys, being a favorite team. But we made sure that we drove home on Friday to be in Yellow Jacket Stadium on a Friday night. I had the opportunity in 1986 as a freshman to be able to make the opening day lineup as a freshman there on the high school team. And again, there was just something, I went to practice there when the tryouts happened and made the baseball team. And very fortunate that first-year coach, Steve Long, had enough confidence in me to give me the opportunity to go behind the plate. To be a freshman on that team, a state championship team, which people can talk about how good that was, but also to have 8 senior starters, being the only underclassmen on the field. That came with some benefits and support, and a lot of, as the guys that were on the team, Ben McDonald, what a tremendous person who people see on TV today, who hasn't changed one bit. Completely playful, enjoyable, and always out there doing things. And I was very fortunate to be a part of it, to do my job as a catcher. And I'm sure Ben and his family have heard, maybe had some doubts of could this little guy back there do the job. And I was just trying to hang in there and do what I was coached to do and play hard. And it led from there. And had a great season. And state championship to win at North Park at home, unbelievable memories, and some great teammates and stuff that will last a lifetime. The 1986 state championship game, I was on first base. I wasn't an offensive guy, but I was a 9-hole hitter. I reached base, and Glenn Glass, bloops the double down the left field line to win the state championship, and everybody rushed in the field. What a tremendous memory and exciting time. Some of the records that there in football, some of the moments, those Friday nights are very special. And to, have an opportunity in my junior year, starting safety, and I think finished the year with 10 interceptions, 12 in a career. Those things are fantastic. Obviously, anytime you have a record, that's something that the other guys and other players that follow you can maybe set the standard and work toward and try to raise that. In 1988 football season, the 4th game of the year, the interceptions, I intercepted the ball against Hammond High at Strawberry Stadium, and it was a 100-yard interception return, and that was the 12th interception, and set the school record at the time. And so what a great moment individually, very exhausting toward the end of the game. My time following graduating from Denham Springs High School, I had the opportunity to go to Southeastern to play baseball. I was very fortunate, again, to play for 4 years. John Stevenson was the first head coach, and then Coach Greg Martin the remaining 3 years. We joined a conference in 1992. Our baseball team won the conference championship at Southeastern, went to the regionals in Arizona, and tremendous experience being part of that team. And again, just those 4 years were fantastic. Obviously playing during that time and being fortunate enough to come back here and be the head football coach, athletic director, a lot of tremendous memories. In 2008, our football team upset Catholic High in Baton Rouge for the first time to beat them 7-6 at Olympia Stadium. Blaine Posey intercepted a pass, ran it back for a touchdown. Hezekiah Washington blocked an extra point. And then, on the final play, the team stood up and held them at the 2-yard line and forced another field goal, and Hezekiah came off again and forced it to be missed wide left. And, the jubilation and the team, the excitement they had that night, again, led in 2008 for the first time making the playoffs in a number of years, and a district championship, being part of that. That team's very special, that moment, the coaching staff. I could go on about memories. As a player, as a coach, those are the things that kind of stick with you. There's so many that could be mentioned, talked about, and loved all of those times and things that we can one day all sit down and visit. And speaking about moments and memories, the 2016 flood in Denham Springs here in South Louisiana, which led to water getting into the high school for the first time in the history. It's what they call the 100 years flood. Obviously it set back the start of school, it set back the start of the football season, and those two things are always a high point for many, for the community, kids getting back going. And what a devastating event. It touched so many people, myself included. I had 6 feet of water. I woke up in the middle of the night and my daughters are sleeping and we got to wake up, and we were boated out the Saturday morning when we were coming up here to try to put sandbags around school because we thought the water would be up here, and unable to get there. And so that started out what a difficult few weeks. People are worried about their homes. You have people that their life and different things that take place there, and so you put all the rest of the things on the back burner and you try to do what's right for your neighbor and help out and get things done. And so that start was challenging. Everybody got to work, just like South Louisiana. People in this area, Denham Springs, they rolled up their sleeves, they helped their neighbors, they did the things at their houses to continue to try to get by on a day-to-day basis, and it improved each week. And so then we had meetings and decided football season was going to be able to continue. Our kids were scattered throughout the area, through East Baton Rouge Parish to Tangipahoa, even up to the St. Helena area. People were driving in each day on the morning practices. But tribute to that class and those kids, that senior class that year, and just to stick it out. They practiced in the mornings, they went to school, they went home, showered in a shower trailer right there on the side of the field, drove to Live Oak for school from 12 to 6 o'clock, something that's not normal in any way. And but they showed up on a day-to-day basis. And so I guess the biggest memory of that season is as the start of the year was able to begin. We weren't able to play the first week, so this high school season, and kids only get 4 years. That's the thing about Friday nights, and you have a 10-game schedule, and it only happens so often for so many kids. And community rallied, the kids kept working, and things came back together enough that the field was playable. One big sign during the flood that when all the water surrounded the campus, the logo in midfield still shone through. It did not cover with water, and just kind of something that guys hung on to. We tried to hold on to that and say, look, you got something coming, and we did. We were able to start the season the week 2 against Tara. Leading into that, ESPN had got looking for stories, and they came down and they talked to our kids and our community, went through the school and videoed things. And so nationally, it got out there, the damage and the things that we were facing as others have throughout this country. You never expected to happen to you, but here it is, and now you really have to dig in and deal with it. And to the assistant coaches, to the moms and dads, getting their kids back and forth, what a tremendous, unified effort to get back on the field. It was a struggle throughout the year, but that night ESPN gets our guys running out there. You see it across the country. Again, a moment that can never be taken away from. As bad as the flood was, a month later they get a chance to go out and play high school sports. School continued, and then Denham Springs continued to grow and come back, and as all the other communities here in South Louisiana have after that. And just a tribute to hard work and dedication and commitment to loving your neighbors and sticking together in tough times. Being selected to to any Hall of Fame, to Denham Springs Hall of Fame in particular, just I guess it represents someone that put in a lot of work for something and been honored by others. Coach Steve Long, I mentioned, gave a chance to a freshman to be on the state championship team, and then coached me for 4 years and guided me through that. Coach Butch Wax, who I was fortunate enough to be a player for. I worked under as an assistant coach. I was a AD head football coach during his time as principal. The consistency that he provided on a day-to-day basis through all aspects of his job. To my coaching staff when I was at Denham Springs, all the assistant coaches that have worked under me, worked with me through those times. Those guys are the glue that kind of gets things going for programs, and no coach can be successful without great guys around them. My mom and dad, Richard and Wanda Nettles, because through the years of being a player, a coach at different levels, to see the commitment that they gave and coming to the ball games each and every time. Obviously in high school I was playing a lot. As I got to college, I was sometimes just a backup, and they'd still be at the game. As an assistant coach when I started out, they would be in the stands supporting the team. As I moved up to different jobs, they continued to be there. Lost mom in 2001 in the transition from head baseball to head football at Woodlawn. When that was taking place, my two daughters, Claire and Faith, are tremendous blessings. They're 25 and 22 now, and just the family at that time and leading through that, was tremendous. It means a lot. Just the number of years that, as a player, an assistant coach, coming back and being a head coach, athletic director, just the number of years in Denham Springs. I feel very blessed and honored to have those opportunities. I know what it means for community-based schools and the love for those places, for people to go play, and what the colors mean and the day-to-day operation, just how important it is for someone to play at those, and it happens throughout the state of Louisiana, throughout the country. Sports teams, communities that can all work together in one direction is always something very special, and glad to be a part, and maybe had some success during that time.